Howdy, everybody. Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. First, though, I want to take a minute to explain just why you should always insist on Horlicks. Just why you should avoid buying one of the cheaper imitations that are being offered in many stores. Here's the difference. Where Horlicks contains only full, rich cream milk, the imitations are often made with skim milk. That's important because mixed with water alone, Horlicks makes a rich, nourishing drink. Without the addition of raw milk, it is more easy to digest and much more economical. Then, where Horlicks uses only the best selected malted barley and choicest wheat, these imitations often contain quantities of ordinary sugar and inferior malt powder. And last but not least, only Horlicks has the benefit of the remarkable Horlick process. Many of the cheaper imitations, you should know, are not processed at all. They're simply mixed together by mechanical means. So you can see that in Horlicks, you really get full value for your money. And in addition, you get a product whose quality, flavor, and results have not been equaled for 50 years. Insist on Horlicks at your drugstore. You can get it, you know, in both natural and chocolate flavors. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. In order to make a hero of himself and regain the confidence of his fellow townsmen, Lum arranged to have his old friend Abner kidnapped, a plan Abner reluctantly agreed to. Last night, they left a note on Abner's pillow stating that he had been kidnapped and was being held for a $50 ransom. Today, we find him hiding over at Lum's house, where he's to stay until Lum deems it the proper time to effect his rescue. News of the kidnapping has spread like wildfire, and we find Lum just returning to the house after hearing the affair discussed all over town. Listen.
Abner. Hey, Abner.
Huh?
Where are you? Well, for goodness sake, what are you doing up under the dining room table?
Well, I never knowed for sure that was you coming in.
Well, it's a good thing it was. Nobody can see you sitting there just as plain as if you're sitting here in the middle of the room.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Well, it's a working, Abner.
Yeah.
Granny's the whole town's talking about it.
Well,
That's all you can hear everywhere you go, folks talking about you being kidnapped.
well, I do know.
Only thing, it sort of scares me now. I'm feared it's working too well. I never seen folks so worked up over anything in my life.
Well, have you saw Elizabeth yet?
Yeah, I just come from over there. She's mad as a wet setting hen.
Oh, I know she'd go higher than a kite quick as she heard about it. Whenever anybody starts picking on me, why, they got her to deal with, too.
Well, I don't think she's mad at the kidnappers about that, though. What she's so mad about is them breaking that window out.
Huh?
That window you jumped through last night.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know she'd be mad about that. What else did she have to say?
Well, I never got to talk to her much. There's a big crowd gathered over there looking for clues, and I just...
Looking for who?
Clues, something to give them some idea who the kidnappers was.
Oh, yeah.
They found the ladder we left propped up again in the house and a bunch of stuff. Ain't no doubt in their mind but what you're actual kidnapped, all right.
Well?
They've got some of the outlandishest stories out on you ever heard.
Story?
Yeah, Ezra Seastrunk's woman claims she seen a big black car go by her place about 9 o'clock last night and said she could see you sticking your head out the back window.
Back window of the car?
Yeah, said they had a handkerchief tied around your mouth to where you couldn't holler, and there's about 3 men in there with shotguns and everything.
Well, now, she must be mistaken about that, Lum, for I don't recollect a thing about riding in no car.
Why, of course she's mistaken. That's what I say. Like Luther Phillips. Luther claims that he come by your place about 8:30 last night, and there was 2 suspicious-looking characters standing there.
Suspicious-looking what?
Characters, men, standing there in your front yard. Said he'd know either one of them if ever he seen them again.
Well, I do know. Now, I reckon what they was doing standing there in my yard.
That's just it. They wasn't standing there.
Oh, sitting down, huh?
No, Abner. It's just a mistake. It goes to show how a body's imagination will work at a time like this. Someone even called up from Cherry Hill and said you was saw over there right early this morning. Said you was in a covered wagon with a band of gypsies.
Well, for the land's sake.
So they called the sheriff in there at the county seat. He's going to stop them and search the wagon whenever they get in there.
Well, now, it won't do them no good. I'll tell them that right now.
Why, of course not. But that's just what we want. The more stories that get started like that, the better off we are.
Well,
I even started one story myself over there. Told them that there was a feller in the filling station at Mount Ida that sold some gasoline to a car right early this morning that had a man tied up in the back seat. And the man wore glasses and chin whiskers like you.
Well, who was it?
Who was it?
Yeah, who was they had tied up that way?
It wasn't nobody. I told you. I just made the story up out of my head.
Oh, I see. He never had no spectacles or chin whiskers like me at all, huh?
No, Abner, he never had nothing. That's just the story I told him. Just throw them off the track.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute, what are you fixing to do there?
That was your ring.
Well, here, I'll answer it. Don't you talking over the telephone. When I ain't here and that phone rings, just let it ring. Hello?
Let it ring like they could see me over the telephone.
Lum Edwards' place.
You can't see through them little wires.
Who?
I hear they're going to invent something.
Oh, well, how are you, Sister Simpson?
We talking to somebody, see them standing there gabbing.
Yes, Mom, I heard about it.
Call up instead of saying I want to talk to them, say I want to see so-and-so.
Oh, yes, it's terrible. I never would have thought he'd have did it. It's just hard to believe.
See, lots of fellas married by long distance. That'll stop. They'll get to seeing them.
Well, I don't guess there's any way of knowing hardly who done it. I'd say just offhand it was a big gang that done it.
Call up somebody and say you're coming over. They always talk like they're crazy.
You know, they're holding him for ransoms.
See their face? I bet you stay home at times.
Yes, Mom, $50 they're asking for him. Oh, they ain't no telling how he's suffering right now. Might be bad sick or something.
So that I'm bringing a good price.
Yes, Mom. Well, I feel sorry for him. They might have hurt him, you know.
No, I'm feeling all right, Lum.
Well, I hope they do find him, but it'll take an awful brave man to rescue him from that bunch. Yes, Mom, the man that finds him will be a real hero, and don't you forget it. Now, if I hear anything, Sister Simpson, I'll be sure and let you know.
Here, let me talk to her, Lum.
All right, Sister Simpson. Glad you called. Yeah. Goodbye, Mom. Oh, goodbye.
She was wanting to know about me, huh?
Yeah. You notice me using that psychology on her there?
No, I never noticed it.
Well, that part there when I was telling her that whoever finds you is going to be a hero. I was talking about myself then.
Oh.
See, I keep telling everybody that, and then when I do find you, it'll just make folks appreciate me that much more.
Well, what did you mean there, Lum, when you was telling Sister Simpson about it?
Somebody at the door. Get back there in the bedroom and hide.
Hide?
Yeah, crawl in under the bed there or something. Hurry up. And stay there till they leave. Come in. Come in. Well, howdy, fellas. Howdy.
Yeah, how are you, Lum?
Just fine, Dick. Come in, Grandpa.
Yeah, howdy, Lum. Oh, you by yourself? I thought I heard you talking to someone.
Why, no, I must have been singing. Yeah, that's what I was doing, singing. Running the scales. Do, re, mi, fo, sol, la, ti, do. Sit down, fellas. Off a chair there, Grandpa.
Yeah, thank you, Lum.
And that is bad about Abner, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, we just came by to talk to you about it, Lum. I can't understand it. Why they'd pick out Abner to kidnap.
Well, I can't either. He wouldn't harm a flea.
Well, I mean, if they were going to get somebody to hold for a ransom, why, there's several men around town here that's more able to pay a ransom than he is, like Doc Miller, for instance.
Well, I believe Abner's the man for the job, though, or for the best one to kidnap. Have you got any ideas about who could have did it, Lum? Well, no, I ain't, Grandpap. That is, nobody could just go lay a finger on, but if you don't mind notions on it, I believe it's an organized gang of regular kidnappers that done it.
Well, I don't think so, Lum. Looks more like the work of amateurs to me.
No, I know they was kidnappers, Richard. Fact is, the note said so.
Well, I mean somebody knew at the game, though. The job was handled too crudely. Like that ladder they left leaning up against the house there.
Well, now, there's one reason I figured it was did by a regular gang. They always use ladders, you know.
Well, they didn't need one over there, though, Lum. The one there wasn't over 3 feet off the ground.
Well, yeah, but maybe they didn't know that.
Well, that's what I say. If it'd been an experienced gang, they'd have known what they needed before they went over there. Another thing, all those tracks, footprints outside the window there, they left all kinds of clues.
Yeah, we measured them tracks, and if we can just find somebody's shoes to fit them now, we'll know who done it. Well, personal, I don't think you'll ever find them around Pine Ridge. Wouldn't surprise me none if they never struck out for Mexico or Canada or some of them places up in there.
No, I don't think so, Lum. I think it's somebody right here in town. And I intend to find out who it is, too.
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
And the fact that they just asked for $50 ransom would indicate it was amateurs.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get no place sitting around talking about it. Let's get back on over to Abner's place, Richard. The sheriff ought to be there by now.
Yeah, come on, go over there with us, Lum. They were talking about getting up a searching party over there a while ago.
Well, I'll be on over there directly. I've got a little work to do around the place here first.
Well, we'll see you over there after a while, then.
All right, fellas. Glad you come by. Do you want me to take the store out again in the morning, Lum? Why, sure. Saturday's our biggest day. Well, I didn't know on account of Abner where you'd want to keep running it or not. Oh, yeah, ought to do well with it now. Folks feel sorry for Abner and buy more stuff from him.
Come on, Grandpap.
Yeah, see you over at Abner's in directly, Lum. All right, fellas.
After gone, Lum?
Yeah, be quiet. They just now went out the door.
What was it they were wanting?
Well, nothing in particular. I couldn't figure out just exactly what they did want. I have to sit up here and let on like I'm worried to death about you and no one you's in the other room all the time. Thing is, this thing ain't working out like I allowed it would. I don't like the idea of them measuring them footprints over there.
Measuring what footprints?
Why, the footprints that me and you left outside the window there. Oh, man, that's my ring. I'll answer it.
Yeah, somebody else wanting to talk about the kidnapping, I reckon. I never knowed it was so important.
Hello? This is him. Oh, well, howdy, Ezra. Huh? What for? Well, maybe you fellas better go ahead and look for him without me, Ezra. Why, sure, he was a friend of mine, but, well, I just, Yeah, I reckon so. What time you leaving? Well, all right, I'll be over there in a few minutes then. All right. Goodbye. There's a fine howdy-do.
What's the matter?
Why, I've got to go out with a searching party and walk all over these mountains looking for you when I know all the time you're piled up here in bed at my house sound asleep. Whose idea was this kidnapping business anyway?
Well, there seems to be a few drawbacks to this kidnapping that Lum apparently overlooked. To take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. I wonder how many of you know what a valuable part this original malted milk plays in weight control. Many specialists in dieting recommend Horlicks because it is a well-balanced, nourishing food. Its use enables you to cut down safely on your regular food, with a consequent loss of weight. Here's what thousands do. Every noon, they make a glass full of Horlicks at home or in the school, office, or shop in place of a heavy, hard-to-digest lunch. Horlicks, a nourishing, sustaining food, does not contain the excess calories of a heavy meal. Since excess calories are a common cause of excess weight, this plan is very effective in cutting down those excess pounds. And what's even more important, it's essentially safe. You can't afford to risk reducing at the cost of your health. So try the safe, effective Horlick plan. All you need is a package of Horlicks in either natural or chocolate flavor. And this you can get, you know, from your dealer. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. When Lum planned to kidnap Abner so that he might make a fake rescue in order to become a hero in the eyes of his fellow townsmen, little did he realize the complications it might involve. While Abner is hiding over at Lum's house taking life easy, Lum is forced to join the many searching parties that have been organized to scour the surrounding mountains in a futile effort to rescue the missing Abner. As we look in on our friends today, we find Lum has just returned to his house after another useless searching expedition. Listen.
Well, where in the world have you been all night? I've been worried to death about you.
Why, I've been traipsing all over these mountains looking for you and whoever kidnapped you.
You mean with that searching party?
Yeah, we walked all night long. Shivered every foot of ground twixt here in Hogjaw Valley. Just got in a while ago.
Where?
Look at them clothes. I tore them off of myself going through the brush there. Yeah, I hadn't noticed that coat button missing there. Reckon when I done that.
Well, I do know. And you was knowing all the time that I was sitting right here in your house.
Yeah, that's what makes me get so mad. But I've got to make out like I'm uneasy about you so they won't suspicion that I know anything about it.
Yeah. I don't get that so good on you.
It ain't no laughing matters, I'll tell you that right now. Let me slip these shoes off. My feet is about to kill me.
Well, no wonder. Them shoes there look like they're way yonder too little for you.
I reckon they are too little. I wear 11s and these is size 8s. Just look how them feet is swole up there. You might not see them take a deep breath when I slip them shoes off.
Well, natural. Why don't you get your shoes to fit you?
Well, you know them tracks we made outside your window the night we kidnapped you so they could see the kidnappers took you out through the window.
Yeah, that was your idea making them tracks.
Well, the idea was all right, but your woman, Elizabeth, got out there and measured the tracks. She says one of them's yours, all right, but if she can find anybody with feet that'll fit them other tracks, she'll have the kidnapper.
Yeah, and she would, too.
And that's just the reason I'm wearing these little bitty shoes, too. If she measures my feet, she can't lay it on to me.
Yeah, but you'll just ruin your feet wearing them things, Lum.
Well, Granny's, I'd rather ruin my feet than to be sent to the penitentiary for kidnapping.
Oh, well, I don't think Elizabeth will ever suspicion that you had anything to do with it.
Yeah, it's just all you know about it. That woman of yours suspicions everybody. Every time she sees somebody with big feet, she makes them let them measure them.
Yeah, you better keep off your feet now, not do no more walking you have to then, Lum.
I can't keep off my feet. Every time I sit down to rest a minute, somebody come along organizing another searching party to go out in the mountains and look for you. And then, of course, I have to go with them.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Granny, these feet of mine ain't had a breathing spell since we hid you out over here.
Well, the next bunch that comes by, Lum, well, you can just stay here and I'll go in your place.
Well, you can't go. You're the one they're looking for. You and the kidnapper. Body can't go look for himself.
Well, that's what you've been doing. You've been looking for the kidnappers, and you're the one that kidnapped me.
Granny, that's right, ain't it? Next time they want me to go, I'll just tell them. No, wait a minute here. That won't work. I wish to goodness I thought of some other way to make a hero out of myself. This is getting to be a nuisance.
Well, why don't we just go ahead and turn me loose, Lum? Study up some other way for you to make a hero out of yourself. I'm getting tired of sitting around over here all day by myself.
Well, we can't let you out now, Abner, and spoil everything. Folks here in the community was to find out you ain't sure enough kidnapped now after them traipsing all over these hills looking for you, they'd run me and you both out of town.
Well, I'll be glad when I can get home to Elizabeth some more, sit down to some more of her cooking. This kidnapping idea of yours, making a hero out of yourself, but it's going to starve me to death if you don't hurry up and rescue me.
Starve?
Yes,
For
sir.
goodness sake, you've had enough in the last few days to found an ordinary human. I just noticed that stack of empty cans back there in the kitchen yesterday. Looks like you've been eating over here for a couple of months.
Well, I sat all day Saturday by myself while you was out looking for me. And I got so lonesome I had to do something for amusement, so I just ate all day.
Yeah, this kidnapping's running into money. I thought I had enough canned goods laid in here to keep me half the winter.
Well, I've got to eat, Lum. I can't just sit over here and starve myself.
Well, you ain't, don't you worry. I bet you put on 10 pounds in the last 2 days. Your folks won't know you when I take you home. Here, Elizabeth's worried to death about you, and you're better off than you ever was.
Yeah, I hate that part of it. Her and little Pearl grieving herself to death over me. Poor little Pearl. I know she's just worried to death, scared something's happened to her papa.
Wait a minute, that's my ring. Be quiet now.
Yeah,
Hello?
just I was home, that's what I was.
This is him? Who is this, Elizabeth?
Well, Elizabeth.
I thought it sounded like you.
God bless her heart. Bless her little heart.
Why, sort of tired right now, Elizabeth. I just got back a while ago. A bunch of us was out in the mountains looking for Abner.
Fine a woman as ever God bless.
No, Mom, not a sign of no kind. It just looks like he's evaporated all of a sudden. Well, now, I wouldn't worry about him, Elizabeth. Chances are he'll be showing up now in the next day or so.
Poor little heart.
I told you I'd find him, and I aim to do it, too. You can depend on that. You're aiming on doing what? Well, I don't know about that, Elizabeth. I believe if you just wait, I can find him myself and save you all that money. Well, of course, do as you like. Well, what time you aiming on taking the ransom money over there? Yeah, well, all right, Elizabeth. I hope they bring him back all right. All right. Goodbye.
Hey, what's that about the ransom, Lum?
There's your woman. She says she's going to take the $50 ransom money over and hide it under the steps at the schoolhouse like we told her to in that note.
Well, good. Now I can go home.
No, you can't go home. We're not after the ransom money.
Huh?
I've got to rescue you first. That's the whole idea for the kidnapping.
Well, now, don't let her put that money under there, then, for somebody else about get it, Lum. I'll just be out $50.
Well, I can't stop her if she finds...
Well, you can go over there and get the money, can't you?
No, if she finds the money gone, she'll think the kidnappers got it, and she'll be expecting you back.
Well, now, me or you one's got to go after that $50. I'll be dad blame if I'm going to leave it laying around over there under them steps and let somebody else.
All right. I'll slip over there tonight and get it and turn it over to you. I reckon they'll just think the kidnappers double-crossed her. That won't hurt nothing no way, I reckon.
And I still don't see why you don't rescue me today and get this thing over with.
Well, I'm just as anxious to get you back to your folks as you are, Abner. I ain't had a good night's sleep since the thing started. But the longer we wait, the better it'll be. The more we let folks worry, the bigger hero it'll make out of me when I rescue you. It'll be the talk of the community.
Yeah.
I'll fix up a big story about how I whipped the whole gang of desperados and returned you to your loved ones and all that stuff. We'll both have to tell the same story, though.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Somebody at the door. Get out of here, Abner. Get back there in the bedroom and hide under the bed, quick.
Well, I don't talk to them all day.
Shh. Come in. Well, howdy, Dick.
Howdy, Lum. Just over to Abner's house. His wife has borrowed the money somewhere for that ransom. She's going to put the $50 on the steps over there today.
Yeah, she just now called and told me about it, Dick.
Well, I thought I'd better tell you before you started out with another searching party.
Tell you the truth, I believe she's making a mistake putting up the money that way at this time, for I still think I can find Abner.
Well, this is a good way to catch the kidnappers, old Lum. See, we're going to have Mose Newt hiding down there at the schoolhouse with a shotgun.
With a shotgun?
Yeah. So when those kidnappers go to look under the steps for the ransom, why, Mose can let them have a load of buckshot.
Well, now, wait a minute. I don't know about that, Dick. I granny somebody might get hurt, get to shooting around that way.
Well, that's exactly what we want. We want to catch these kidnappers, Lum. We want to catch them right away and get Abner back.
Well, I don't see no use in that. If we can get Abner back, that's the main thing.
Oh, yeah, sure, but if we can catch those kidnappers, why, the thing for us to do is to make an example out of them, too. Everybody in town's brought up over.
Yeah, I know that. But I don't think we ought to be too hard on them.
Well, I don't know. I've talked to quite a few today, Lum, and they're even talking about lynching them if they catch them.
Lynching them?
Yeah, I told them, though, if we catch whoever did it, why, we ought to turn them over to the authorities and let the law take its course. That's the proper thing to do.
Yeah, we don't want no hangings around here, I know that. That's one thing I wouldn't stand for a minute. I'm the justice of the peace here, and I wouldn't stand for it at all.
Well, no, we want to stop that if we can, Lum, but still, on the other hand, we want to see them get what's coming to them. I want to see them get the full penalty of the law. Take it to court and stick them the full penalty.
Yeah, reckon so. Trouble is, though, Dick, it might be one of our leading citizens that done it. Can't tell about them things.
Well, I don't care who it is. They'll all look alike to me, Lum. Anybody low down enough to kidnap a harmless old fellow like Abner doesn't deserve any consideration. I'd feel the same way about it if it turns out to be my best friend that did it. I'd feel the same way about it if it was you that did it, even, Lum.
If it was me?
Yes, sir.
You ain't accused me.
No, I'm not accusing you. I just say I would feel that way about it.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, that's fine, Nick. I hope we catch him.
Well, now, he'll be caught. Don't you worry about that. We found another clue over there a while ago.
Another clue?
Yeah, we found a coat button that one of them lost when he was pulling Abner out of the window.
A coat button? Hey, Granny.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Down the Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. First, though, I want to take a minute to explain why Horlicks is so beneficial for youngsters' teeth. Well, here's the reason. Horlicks is an especially rich source of calcium and phosphorus, essential elements for proper tooth and bone development. Included regularly in the child's diet, Horlicks gives fine protection, aids greatly in the development of good, sound teeth, as well as healthy, husky bodies. That's why so many dentists recommend the use of Horlicks in the care of teeth. And that's why I suggest you get some for those youngsters of yours. They're mighty fond of Horlicks. All children are. But there's one thing you must not overlook. Take them to the dentist regularly as well. There's no substitute for that. Regular visits to the dentist and lots of wholesome, delicious Horlicks in between. You can get Horlicks, you know, from your dealer in either natural or chocolate flavor. And now let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Lum is finding that his idea of kidnapping Abner, so that in rescuing him he might become a hero in Pine Ridge, was a very poor one. The citizens of the town have become so aroused over the affair that they have made serious threats as to what they will do to the kidnappers when caught. Lum is greatly worried that the chain of evidence will eventually lead to him as the guilty party. So now, what was designed for his own advancement may result in his ruination. As we look in on our friends today, Lum has just returned to his home and is greeted by Abner, his willing captive. Listen.
What's the matter, Lum? What's the matter?
Nothing.
Well, you look like you just saw gold.
Granny's I've saw worse than that. You know what Elizabeth is did?
No, there ain't nothing happened to her, has there?
No. She's hired a detective to come out here and look for the kidnappers.
A detective?
Yeah, and he says he's got enough evidence to name the kidnappers 4 nights.
Well, good. I can go home then, can I?
You're going to stay right here till this thing clears up some way.
Well, now, Lum, I'm getting tired of hiding out over here, staying here by myself all day, nobody to talk to or nothing else.
Yeah, I wish you'd quit complaining about your troubles. Look at the fix I've got myself in. I just come from the barber shop just now, and I bet there's 50 men milling around down there, just standing around waiting for the detective to name the kidnapper, like a pack of hungry wolves.
Everybody's anxious to know who it is, huh?
Why, they're so dead blame wrought up over it, they're going to hang whoever he says done it, just sure as the world.
Oh, my goodness alive.
And I had to stand around down there with them and help them plan what all they're going to do to the kidnappers, knowing all the time it was me that done it.
Well, do you reckon that their detective has catched on to us, Lum?
I don't know, but I don't like the way he looks at me, I know that.
You don't?
No, he's got magnifying glasses and all that stuff. Turned around and asked me about your question. Followed me around there for a while.
Well, for the land's sake.
He got eyes that just bore right through a feller.
Well, I do know.
If he names me, I'm a gone goose. That's all there are to it. Feller's life wouldn't be worth a nickel with that mob.
Oh, well, I don't believe they'd do nothing to you, Lum, even if they knowed it.
Yeah, that's just all you know about. You ought to hear 'em talk. A hanging's all that's going to satisfy that bunch. They've got together amongst themselves now and made up a $100 reward for whoever finds her.
$100 reward for the land's sake?
They're even talking about getting some bloodhounds out here. And if they do, why, it's all off. They've got me.
Oh, my, yeah. Everybody ain't got a chance if them things ever gets on your trail. I know that you look funny, Lum, sitting up in a limb or some tree with a pack of dogs sitting down there baying at you, wouldn't you?
Got me to where I feel like a criminal. And said, Jumpy, I can't hardly stay in my clothes. Nervous as a rabbit's nose.
Well, now, you ain't done nothing against the law. You never kidnapped me, Lum. I come over here on my own accord. You never forced me to do it.
No, but they don't know that, though. They find out that you're here at my place, explaining ain't going to do no good.
Well, couldn't you just sort of tell them that we just done it for a joke?
Yeah, but after them traipsing all over these mountains night and day for the last few days looking for you and putting up a reward to get you back and all that stuff, it ain't going to sound much like a joke to them.
Yeah, sure, they'd be mad all right, but I don't believe they'd hang you or nothing like that, though.
No, I reckon they wouldn't do that.
No.
The trouble is, they'll hate me worse than ever around here if they find out it was a fake kidnapping. That was the idea for the whole thing to start with. I wanted to rescue you so as to make a hero out of myself and make them think more of me.
Yeah, I know you did. I know that it just looks like it ain't working out like we thought it would, though, Lum.
No, I noticed that, too.
Yeah.
I allowed by this time I'd be the biggest hero Pine Ridge ever had. And I had pictures drawn in my mind of them carrying me down the street on their shoulders and all that.
Had pictures drawn?
I could just hear them begging me to take charge of the silver mine again and all that.
When was that, Lum?
When was what?
When was they begging you to take charge of the mine again?
Oh, they ain't been begging me. That's what I want them to do.
Oh, I thought you said you heard them.
Well, I just heard them in my mind. Been thinking about it so much, I reckon I just imagined it.
Well, I do know. Well, I never tried that hearing with my mind.
Oh, yeah. Sort of like seeing things in your mind.
Seeing?
And you never lay awake at night and get to thinking and sort of see things?
No, I can't see nothing at night, Lum. especially if it's dark. I just never could.
Well, I mean, close your eyes and see things.
Oh, no. I couldn't see nothing that way. No, whenever I close my eyes, I quit looking right then.
Why, of course you do. I'm talking about seeing with your mind.
No, as far as I know, I never use nothing but my eyes to see with.
Well, you've undoubtedly pictured things with your mind and sat around with your eyes shut and built air castles.
Built what?
Never mind. Nothing.
Well, now, maybe I need some spectacles for my mind. Maybe my mind's weak.
Weak? It's weak, all right. I'm surprised, though, at you admitting to it.
Yeah? Huh?
Nothing. Just forget about it. I've got enough worries on my mind without trying to explain something to you. I've got to study up some way to get myself out of this scrape I've got myself in.
No? No, sir. I can't see a blame thing with them closed.
This looks like the best thing to do is just call them all together and admit to the whole thing.
I don't see how he does it. Maybe the next time I get some spectacles, I'm going to get the octopus to examine my mind, too.
Abner, will you stop mumbling to yourself there? I'm trying to think. What are you holding your two fingers up in front of your face that way for?
Is that how many I've got up there?
Why, sure, can't you see?
No, not with my eyes closed. No, it won't work on me, Lum.
For goodness sake, stop that foolishness and listen.
I don't hear nothing.
I mean, listen to me, what I've got to say.
Oh.
I'm about to decide to just call up everybody on the party line and just tell them this whole thing is a fake and you've been right here in my house all the time. Tell them just how come me to do it. Tell them I was trying to make a hero out of myself so they'd think more of me and let me go ahead and run the silver mine.
Oh, my goodness, now, Lum, no, sir. If you done that after them tramping all over these mountains night and day looking for you, why, they'd be mad enough to run you out of town. You know that. They went to a lot of trouble around here, Lum, and they don't want it to turn out to be no joke.
Yeah, they ain't going to run me out of town, though, I'll tell you that. I'll save them all that trouble. I'll just leave town of my own accord. I don't appreciate it around here no way.
You mean leave Pine Ridge for good?
Well, may as well. Looks like I've made a mess of things. This idea weren't no count in the first place. I see that right now. Just downright selfishness on my part. Where I was causing Elizabeth all that worry and making a lot of trouble for everybody else. I never stopped to think about them things, just thinking about myself. That's what I was doing.
Oh, well, now, they'll all get over that, Lum. Quick as you take me back home and they find out that I ain't hurt no way, why, they'll forget all about it in 2 days' time.
No, I'm just ashamed of myself over it. Best thing for me to do is just to make a confess of the whole thing and then move to somewhere else. Start all over with myself. Sell off what little stuff I've got and just move to some other town.
Now, Lum, that would be the foolishest thing that you ever done. Why, you're getting along in years, Lum. You can't start all over again now. Your friends is all here in Pine Ridge and everything else.
Friends? There ain't 5 people in this town that'll speak to me. No, I'll call up Elizabeth and tell her you're safe, and then you better go on over home, Abner. It's the only way out.
No, now, Lum, now, it ain't the only way out. No such a thing. Now, wait a minute now. Don't do that now.
No, right's right, Abner. I can leave this away with a clear
conscience. Well, now, please don't do that, Lum. Now, wait a minute. We'll figure some other way out of it. Now, just hold on a minute. Why, you can't leave Pine Ridge this way.
What's the reason I can't leave Pine Ridge?
Well, Lum, you just ain't got no place to go. You ain't got no relates, no family or nothing else. You've got to stay here amongst your friends.
Well, it ain't 'cause I want to, Abner. I know I won't be happy no other place except Pine Ridge, but maybe someday they'll see where there's a blaming an innocent man when they accuse me of beating them out of their money on that silver mine.
Well, now, wait a minute, Lum. Now, before you do that, let me go out and explain to them. Just, Lum, now, don't do that. Now, please don't. Now, let's cut it over first anyway.
Get away, Abner. Now, leave me alone.
Give me that receiver.
I told you to get away now, Abner. Wait a minute.
Now, don't, Lum.
Hello? Elizabeth?
Now, Lum, don't do that, please. Now, don't tell her.
This is Lum and Abner.
Now, wait a minute, Lum. There's somebody at the door.
Well, tell them to come in.
Well, I can't. I've got to hide.
Well, ain't no use for you to hide now. I'm just fixing to tell Elizabeth, come in. Well, honey, Dick. I'll be through here in just a minute, Dick. Come in.
Well, for goodness sake, Abner, where'd you come from?
Hello? Elizabeth? Well, I just called you up to say...
Lum just now rescued me from a bunch of kidnappers a while ago.
Wait a minute, Elizabeth. Somebody just come in.
For goodness sake.
Oh, yeah, had an awful time.
Now, mind now what you're saying there, Abner. I'll call you back directly, Elizabeth.
I'll tell you soon, Secret.
I'll tell you now, though. Abner's over here at my place, and he's safe and sound. Goodbye.
Well, here, tell me about this. We've been looking everywhere for you, Abner. Where'd you find him, Lum?
I never found him, Dick. He's just making that up. I never
Oh,
had a
yes,
thing to...
he did, too, Dick. He just a while ago rescued me from a kidnapper. Whipped 3 men with his bar fist to do it, too.
Why, I never done no such a thing, Abner, and you know it.
did, too. I reckon I ought to know who saved my life. The trouble with him, Dick, he's just afeard that if he admits to it, why, the folks around here will try to make a hero out of him. He told me a while ago that he was going to tell everybody that he kidnapped me himself, just so that folks wouldn't make on over him. He's too modest, that's his trouble. I know that I'm going to tell him a straight of it. I was rescued by Lum and you can just go tell everybody that I'm back home and he's the man that done it. He's the biggest hero that Pine Ridge ever had, even if he won't admit to it.
So in spite of himself, Lum may still become a hero in the eyes of his fellow townsmen. Take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. First, a word about Horlicks to those mothers unable to nurse their babies. I'd like to remind them that Horlicks is unsurpassed as a food for bottle-fed infants. Rich in calcium, phosphorus, and vitamins, Horlicks contains the elements essential for proper body growth. Also, elements necessary for the proper development of sturdy, healthy bodies, sound bones, and good teeth. What's even more important, Horlicks is extremely easy for the infant to digest. Already containing rich, full cream milk, Horlicks does not require the addition of raw cow's milk. Hence, it can be more easily, more safely handled by the tiny stomach. Also, because it is so nourishing, so sustaining, and energy-giving, Horlicks is an excellent food drink for the nursing mother herself. It enriches and increases her milk and nourishes her baby. You can get Horlicks, you know, at any drugstore. And now, let's see what's happening down at Pine Ridge. Yesterday, just as Lum was about to confess that he instigated the whole affair of Abner's kidnapping so that in rescuing Abner he might make a hero of himself, Abner stepped in and saved his old friend from almost certain ruination by declaring that Lum did rescue him in the face of tremendous odds. As a result, Lum is now receiving great praise from his fellow townsmen for his bravery. As we look in on Pine Ridge today, we find Lum and Cedric Weehunt over at Lum's house. Lum is talking on the telephone. Listen.
And I wouldn't go so far as to say that, hardly. It ain't nothing to make a fuss over. There's been other heroes besides me. I just seen my duty and done it. That's all there were to it. Never once thought about the honor and glory there was to it. Mom, why, they was 4 of them, I believe it was. Awful big men, though. No, not a thing, just my bar fist. No, Ma, I never captured them, but I run them clean out of the country. Yes, Well, whilst I don't think I deserve all the nice things you said about me, it ain't my place to stand up and argue with you over it. All right. Thank you, Mom, for calling. Goodbye. Excuse me for keeping you waiting so long, Cedric. Miss Phillips just insisted on me telling her all about the kidnapping.
Yes, Mom, that's all right, Mr. Lum. I reckon you're mighty proud to have Mr. Abner back, ain't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was terrible worried about him, Cedric. It's a relief to know he's back safe and soundly.
I know Miss Peabody was terrible worried about him, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's tickled to death to have him back. Won't hardly let him leave the place. I ain't saw him all day.
Well, how'd you ever find out where he was at, Mr. Lum?
Oh, I don't know, just sort of figured it out, sort of, you might say. I knowed he had to be summer, so I studied it over careful, weighed it and all, and turned it over and over in my head, and found him by a process of elimination, you might say.
Yes, Mom. Well, did them kidnappers put up much of a fight when you went after them?
Did who?
Them kidnappers.
Nappers, Cedric, nappers.
Oh, well, did the nappers put up much of a fight?
Kidnappers is the word. Now, what was you want to know?
I said, did they put up much of a fight, them things?
Well, yeah, at first, but never taken them long to see that I meant business. Quick as I knocked 2 or 3 of them down there, then slid into running.
Well, how many of them was there altogether?
Why, they was... Was you paying any attention when I was talking to Miss Phillips just now?
No, Mom, I was looking at these pictures in the stereoscope here.
Well, there was 6 of them.
6?
And 1 little one.
Well, did they have any guns?
Guns? Oh, why, yeah, sure. I think 1 of them had a shotgun.
Well, sure lucky for Mr. Abner when you showed up when you did, weren't you?
Oh, my, yeah. I reckon it was. See, just as I got there, they had him tied to a sawmill carriage, fixing to saw him in 2. I got there just in time to snatch him off and save him from a cruel fate.
Well, my pa read a book like that once where they done that very same thing.
Yeah, I did.
That makes sort of a hero out of you, don't it?
Well, some folks would call it that, I reckon. Of course, I was risking my life to save a friend. I can't deny that.
Yes, Mom. Folks in the community ought to appreciate what you done, too.
Yeah, I hope they do. Wish you'd sort of call it to their attention around folks you see, Cedric. Don't look right for me to be going around telling about it. Wait a minute. See, there's my ring. Excuse me just a minute. I'll see who it is.
Yes, Mom, go ahead.
Well, on this phone, he's been ringing all morning. Folks calling up to tell me how proud they are to found Abner. Hello? This is Lum and Abner, the man that rescued Abner Peabody from the kidnappers talking. Who? Oh, well, howdy, Sister Simpson. Yes, Mom. Oh, about that. I done forgot about rescuing him.
Well, Mr. Lum, I expect I better be getting on back to the blacksmith shop. Paul may be a-needing me, and I'll drop over some other time and hear some more about it.
Just a minute, Sister Simpson. All right, fellas, glad you come over. Come back again.
Mom?
Nothing, Cedric. Come back again.
Oh, listen.
Hello? Oh, that was just a committee come over to pin a couple of medals on me for bravery. Oh, yes, them things is nice, all right, but like I told them, ain't nothing to make a to-do over, much. Any other brave, red-blooded citizen would have did the same thing, mightn't I? Well, maybe I am too modest, but I've always followed that old Eddard saying that modesty is the best policy. Ma? Why, I just went in there and whipped them and taken Abner away from them. That's all there was to it. Ma? Oh, why, 8. That is 8 big ones and 2 or 3 little ones. Why, sure they did. Shotguns and machine guns and pistols and everything else. No, Mom, nothing but my bar fist. Well, that's nice of you to say that. Oh, well, you see, I'm getting a reward. Yes, Mom, the $100 they offered for whoever brung Abner home safe and sound. Yeah, but it was reward enough for me just to see my friend and comrade safely return to his home and fireside in the arms of his loved ones. I only wish I had 2 lives to give to my country. No, something else I'm thinking about. Nothing. I just started to say something.
Honey, Lum, I dog it all. I've heard all day. Oh, excuse me.
Just a minute. I'll be down here directly, Abner. What was it you said, Sister Simpson? Oh, it wasn't nothing. Just another committee come in. Well, I'm mighty proud you called. Yes, just a minute, though, Sister Simpson. Abner wants to say something to you.
Well, I don't want to talk to her.
Yes, you do, too. I want you to tell Sister Simpson how brave I am.
How brave you are.
Yeah, for rescuing you from the kidnappers.
Oh. Well, I'll talk to her, but I don't know what to say.
Yeah, here. Tell her you think I'm awful brave.
Hello? Sister Simpson? Yes, Mom. Oh, yes, proud to be back. Huh? Just a minute. Did I suffer any while the kidnappers had me, Lum?
Suffer?
Yeah.
Oh, I sure you did. Yeah, they's awful mean to you.
Sure I did. They was awful mean to you.
Go ahead and tell her about me. Quit talking about yourself so much. Oh, my goodness, all you think about yourself.
Well, what did you want me to say?
Tell her how brave you think I am.
Tell her how brave I think you are or you think you are.
Just tell her I'm brave.
Lum's brave.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, for rescuing me from that kidnapper.
Them kidnappers.
How many was it?
What did I tell her? I don't know. Hang up, Louise. Wait a minute. Let me talk to her.
Yeah, here, take it, yeah.
Hello, Sister Simpson? Well, I wouldn't have let Abner talk to you if I'd have known you was going to brag on me that way. It's downright embarrassing to me. Yeah, that's the price a big hero's got to pay, I reckon. Well, I'm glad you called up. Well, thank you, Mom. That's nice of you to say that about me. All right. Goodbye.
What have you been telling her anyway, Lum?
Oh, I was just telling her about me capturing you from the kidnappers.
Well, now, you better tell me what you said so as I'll know, for she'll spread it all over town, tell everybody she sees.
Yeah, that's right. We've got to stick to the same story.
Yeah, folks have been asking me questions about it, and I just told them that I'd rather not talk about it. Said it was kind of a nightmare to me.
Yeah, that's the time. You keep on having nightmares, and I'll do the talking. That way we can't get mixed up.
Yeah. I just tell them that they had a handkerchief tied over my eyes, and I couldn't see nothing.
That's the time. Tell them that.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I swan I never seen folks that excited about anything in my life. I was downtown just now, and everybody I seen wanted to stop and shake my hand, you know.
Yeah, they stopped me down there this morning, too.
Oh, yeah, all of
them. Want to get my autograph and all that.
Tell me how proud they are to have me back, you know. What a brave man they think you are. Oh, my Lord, they just think you're the bravest man in the world.
Well, what all did they say about me, Abner?
Well, I don't know what all said, that you were just a hero, that's all there was to it. Oh, a whole bunch of stuff like that.
My goodness, it's a-working. No doubts about it.
Oh, yeah.
Only thing, just to be right honest about it, Abner, I sort of hate to fool everybody that way. Tell them all this rigmarole. Don't feel just right about misrepresenting things.
Well, it ain't hurting nobody. That's one thing sure.
No, it ain't hurting nobody. And it sure changed everybody's opinion of me around here, I'll say that.
Oh, my, yes.
I just don't know how to thank you enough, Abner, for what you did for me.
What I did for you?
Yeah, interrupting me yesterday when I was about to tell Dick Huddleston the truth about it. Just made a hero out of me, that's what you done.
Well, I never done it just for you, Lum. I knowed if you told them that kidnapping was a fake, why, we'd both have to leave town the way they felt around here. I was thinking about myself then. I told that story to save my own hide.
Granny, that's right, ain't it? It is a saving you, ain't it?
Yeah.
Sure it is. Yeah, I've got to make out like I rescued you from a bunch of kidnappers, ain't I?
Why, sure you have, Lum.
Well, good. I'll do it then, Abner. Grannies, I'll do it. Shake hands on it. Anything to help a friend. You can depend on me anytime.
Well, Lum is certainly basking in the spotlight of popularity. Thanks to Abner. Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. First, let me remind you again that when you're traveling or downtown shopping, or when motoring or golfing, there's nothing like having a flask of Horlicks tablets along. They're really great for helping ward off hunger and fatigue. When you begin to feel tired or hungry, just dissolve a few of the tablets in your mouth. They'll nourish you while you work. Keep you going at top speed when you aren't able to eat on time. When you're traveling, they often prevent sickness because they're so easily digested and nourishing enough to take the place of other food. Children love Horlicks tablets, too. They can easily carry a supply to school with them, and Horlicks won't spoil their appetites. They're too wholesome and quickly digested for that. You can get handy flasks of tablets at your dealers for a dime. Or, if you prefer it, you can get them in larger sizes in either natural or chocolate flavor. And now let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. When Lum planned the fake kidnapping of his old friend Abner so that he could pretend to have rescued him and thereby regain the respect of his fellow townsmen because of his bravery, he had no idea how well the plan would really work. Since Abner has been returned safely, Lum is the hero of the hour in Pine Ridge. Even those who had turned against him because of his connection with the sale of fraudulent silver mining stock are now singing his praises. As we look in on his house today, we find Dick Huddleston has just dropped in to congratulate him on Abner's rescue. Listen.
Oh, nothing much. Been sitting around the house here all morning working on this story for the newspaper.
What story is that, Lum?
Why, the newspaper in there at the county seat called up right early this morning, wanted to know the particulars about Abner being kidnapped, so I told him I'd just write the story up myself and send it to him. I figured me being the one that rescued him and all, that I ought to be able to tell it better than they could.
Yeah, sure.
Then it's right smart of a job to get up something like that, you know it?
I bet it is.
Yeah, I've wrote it and tore it up 5 or 6 times, and I don't know yet where I got it sounding right or not. I don't want to leave nothing out, of course.
Oh, well, I imagine it's all right, Lum. Read what you got there. Let's see how it sounds.
Well, sort of hate to read it. Might sound like I'm bragging a little on myself, but of course I had to tell the facts.
Why, sure. Well, nobody knows you wrote it yourself anyway.
Well, that's what I figured.
No.
Well, let's see. I start out, for the headlines, big letters clean across the top of the front of the page, I've got, Lum Edwards risks life to rescue friend.
Well.
Then right under that, I've got some more headlines. Says, Pine Ridge Justice of the Peace and President of the School Board wins battle with kidnappers single-handed. How's that sound?
That's all right, I guess.
And then I start out with the main article here. Lum Edwards, prominent citizen of Pine Ridge, made a hero out of himself Tuesday when he defied death and waded through shot and shell to rescue a friend from a dangerous band of kidnappers. Mr. Edwards is a graduate of Cloverleaf School District number 186 and is a leader in the social and civic affairs of the community. He is a half owner and president of the new rolling grocery store, which is now operating in Pine Ridge. He also owns 57% of the stock in the Great Western Sterling Silver Company. He is Justice of the Peace and President of the School Board. Mr. Edwards is very modest and does not like to talk about what he done, but in a statement to the press he said, quote, reckon why they always say quote first before they go ahead and say what they're going to.
Well, that just shows what they said, Lum.
Oh, I see. I notice they always say that before they start talking so they can tell when they're starting, I reckon.
Yeah, that shows where the conversation starts.
Mr. Edwards says, quote, I only wish I had 2 lives to give to my feller man. And that's all I've got so far. How does it sound?
Well, all right, I guess, Lum. The only thing, you haven't told him who it was kidnapped.
Huh?
Well, you didn't mention Abner's name at all. He was the one that was kidnapped.
Granny, that's right, ain't it?
No, sure.
I sure never. I thought there was something I was leaving out there.
Why, yeah, that's what the newspaper would be interested in.
Yeah, well, I can put that in there down here at the bottom. Let's see. Say, the man that Mr. Edwards risked his life to save and return to the arms of his loved ones was his old friend and partner, Abner Peabody. That ought to keep it all right.
Yeah, well, I have an idea they want to rewrite the story anyway and change it up some. You've given them enough of the facts there to where they can make a story out of it.
Well, now, they better not change it up too much. They'll ruin the whole thing. Just about put a batch of stuff in there about how long Abner was held a prisoner and how they treated him. And
yeah, and a ransom note and all that.
Yeah, that's what I say, a batch of stuff that wouldn't nobody be interested in.
Well, I never have got the straight of this thing yet, Lum. How did it all take place?
Why, how did what take place?
Abner's rescue.
Oh, that. Well, I rescued him myself. I was the one that done it. And you hear that?
Yeah, sure, I know you did, Lum, but I mean, how many men were there in the gang that had him? I've heard all kinds of different stories about him.
Oh, yeah, they've been circulating all sorts of stories.
That's the reason I want to get the straight of it. How many men in the gang?
Well, how many did you hear?
Well, Sister Simpson told me there were 8.
Yeah, that's how many there was, 8.
But Uncle Henry Lunsford said you told him there were 6, and Miss Phillips, Luther's wife, said you told her 4.
Well, I'll be dead blamed. That just shows how things get exaggerated. They all couldn't be right. You know that yourself, Dick.
Oh, well, where was Abner all that time?
Why, he was with the kidnappers.
Yeah, but where were the kidnappers?
Well, they was with Abner. The whole bunch was right there together.
Well, I mean, what place, Lum? Whereabouts?
Whereabouts what?
Whereabouts was their hideout?
Well, sir, now there's a funny thing. I never had saw that place before, and I don't know yet where I was at. I doubt if I could ever find it again. Wouldn't know which direction to start out looking for it.
Well, what kind of a looking place was it, Lum?
Dick, let's don't talk no more about it. I get to thinking about it, what a terrible fight I had, and I get so nervous again. Grannies, I'll see that thing in my dreams. You know, there's a song run sort of like that. I'll see it in my dreams. Well, howdy, Abner. Come in. Sure glad to see you.
Hello, Abner.
I thought I heard somebody hollering in here.
No, I was just a-singing. Glad you come over. You can just join in with me. Start that, cut down the old pine tree.
Oh, yeah. Well, you better pitch me, though, Lum.
Oh, yeah. Do, re, mi, fo.
Do, re, mi, fo.
Yeah, that's the time.
Well, I expect I better be going, fella.
Oh, sit down, Dick. We'll sing some for you.
Well, thank you, Lum. I expect I better get back to the store.
Well, I'm glad you come over and come back again.
Yeah, I will. Thank you. Come down and loaf with me when you get time.
Yeah, we will, Dick.
So long.
Granny, I'm sure glad you come in when you did.
What's the matter?
Why, he just about had me cornered there.
Cornered?
Yeah, got to pinning me down on this kidnapping.
You mean him and you was fighting?
No. Asked me a batch of questions about the kidnapping. He's the inquisitiest fella I ever seen in my life. Don't know where the kidnappers had you hid all that time and all that stuff. I didn't know what to say.
Why, I was right here at your place all the time, Lum.
Yeah, but I couldn't tell him that.
Oh, yeah, that's right, sure.
We got to figure out some place away from here. You don't know any place out here in the mountains that might be a good place for them to hide you?
Well, let's see now.
We've got to decide on some place so that we can both tell the same story.
Yeah, sure. How would that old sawmill set Levi Whitten used to have up there in Eagle Gap be? That'd be a good place. Nobody never goes up there.
Yeah, that's the place. That's the spot right there. Recollect, from now on, you was head at the old Levi Whitten sawmill set there in Eagle Gap.
Yeah.
In the boiler room.
In the boiler room, yeah.
Now, why couldn't I have thought of that a while ago? I couldn't think of nothing.
No. How come you never went over to the stockholders' meeting this afternoon, Lum?
What stockholders meeting?
Why, they're having a meeting of the stockholders of a silver mine. I allowed you knowed about it.
No, I've been right here on the place all morning. Never heard a word about it.
Well, they called up over at the place and told Elizabeth that they was going to have a meeting at 2 o'clock, but I never went.
That's a fine howdy-do. Me owning 57% of the stock and don't even know when to have a meeting. Fine way to treat somebody that just made a hero out of themselves.
Well, maybe it's another one of them secret meetings that they've been having, Lum, where they don't want you there.
Well, they're just wasting their time, I can tell them that. I own 57% of that stock, controlling interest, and I grannies I'll be again anything they decide to do over there. That'll learn them how to leave me out of their meetings.
Well, I don't blame you neither, Lum. I'd feel the same way about it myself. You're a stockholder just the same as they are, and they ought to let you know whenever they're having a meeting.
Yeah, they can keep me from being president, all right, but they can't keep me from having a controlling vote in the company. I'll tell them that. Here I went to all the trouble to figure out a kidnapping so as to make a hero out of myself, and this is the thanks I get out of it.
Yeah, Lord me, I figured now that they'd all back in a good humor with you from the way they've been talking around.
Well, I did, too. Everybody's been awful nice to me.
Yeah, I know
to my
that.
face.
Yeah.
But now they turn right around and had another stockholder meeting without inviting me. It just looks like a man ain't appreciated in his hometown.
Well, now, I wouldn't stand for it a minute. I just wouldn't do it, Lum.
Grannies, I ain't.
I'd stand up for my rights.
I'm going to start having my own stockholders meetings and running things to suit myself.
Why, sure. Just leave them out for a while and see how they like it. I'll stand behind you. I know that I'll go to your meeting instead of that. That's what I'll do.
Wait a minute. Somebody at the door.
Oh.
Come in.
Well, howdy, Grandpap.
Yeah, howdy, boys. Howdy.
How you?
Come on in, Grandpap. Did you go to the stockholders' meeting?
Yeah, that's what I come over here for, Lum. I was appointed a committee of one to read a resolute we passed over a while ago.
To read what?
A resolute. Well, what's a resolute? That's something they voted on and passed it a while ago. Oh.
Well, you can just save your breath. I don't want to hear it.
No, sir. Me and Lum is against anything that they done over at that meeting today. Well, I've got it here. I'm supposed to read it to you.
Well, I told you I don't want to hear it, Grandpap. I own 57% of the stock in that silver mine, and I'm throwing every vote I've got again, whatever it is.
Yes, sir. Now, just get on out of here, Grandpap, and leave Lum alone. He knows his rights.
Well, all right, if that's the way you feel about it. I like you'd want to hear about it, Lum.
The resolute was drawn up apologizing for the way they've been treating you around here and wanting to make you president and general manager of the company again.
Wait a minute, Grandpap. Don't pay no attention to what Abner says here. And from here out, Abner, when I want somebody to leave my house, I'll tend to it myself. Sit down, Grandpap, old boy. Now, go ahead and read that resolute, or whatever it is. I allowed you know what I was joshing about being against it. You can always depend on me to stand right square behind the stockholders in anything they decide.
Well, it looks like Lum is again to be entrusted with the management of that great silver mining project in which so many Pine Ridgers are interested. Down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Before we go down to Pine Ridge, I'd like to remind all you late vacationists and travelers not to forget a package of Horlicks on your trips. For 50 years now, travelers all over the world, from the North to the South Pole, have relied on this nourishing, sustaining malted milk. They find it a marvelous aid in case of travel sickness. Appetizing, easy to digest, Horlicks is often the one thing that delicate digestions can handle. That's why many folks who do a lot of flying rely implicitly on Horlicks. It's so nourishing and sustaining, such a well-balanced food that it really takes the place of heavy meals. Being quick to digest, it doesn't cause distress as heavy meals so often do. And in addition, Horlicks is easy to prepare anywhere at any time. Just mix thoroughly with water, and it's ready to drink. So by all means, slip a package of Horlicks in your grip before you start. It will be a constant comfort on your trip. You can get Horlicks, you know, at any drugstore in both natural and chocolate flavors. And now let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. As a result of Lum's renewed popularity over rescuing Abner from his supposed kidnappers, the stockholders of the Great Western Sterling Silver Company have elevated Lum again to the office of President and General Manager of the company. As you'll remember, Lum originally held the office after Squire Skimp had fleeced the citizens of Pine Ridge of all the money possible by the sale of stock in the mine. When Squire left for parts unknown, Lum assumed all the remaining stock, and also the responsibilities of the company. As we look in on our old friends today, we find Lum down at Dick Huddleston's store, very much impressed with his regained importance. Listen.
So they come over and just insisted and begged and pleaded with me to take the office back, so finally I decided to do it.
Yeah, I heard they let you have the office back, Lum.
Yeah, it's a big responsible, all right, being president and general manager of a big silver mine like that, but whilst I don't like to cast no compliments right in my own face, I believe they used uncommonly good judgment in who they picked out.
Well, what are you going to do now that you've got the office?
Oh, I aim to go right on ahead, speaking to everybody just the same as usual, just like I ain't no better than they are.
I mean, about the mine, Lum. What do you plan to do about it?
Oh, what I aim to do about it?
Yes, you ought to be figuring out some way to get some money out of it, pay off these stockholders.
Well, so you just taking the words right out of my mouth, then. That's just exactly what I had in mind to do. Granny, you wouldn't make a bad president, you know it, Dick? Or vice president. You've got ideas. I can see that.
Well, I don't know about that, Lum, but I do know that these people here in town have invested every cent they could get in that stock ought to get their money back if there's any possible way to do it.
Why, sure. That's what I say. They use good judgment in putting a man like me in there to handle it for 'em. Somebody that can take right a hold and do things.
Yeah, you started telling me a minute ago what you plan to do.
Oh, well, to tell you the truth, Dick, I've got so many things in mind to do, I don't know which one to do first, hardly. What would you do if they'd give you the job of president and firm?
Well, of course, I'm not a stockholder in the company, and it's none of my business, Lum, but if I had charge of it, the first thing I'd do would be try to sell it.
Just what I thought you'd say. For I aim to do the same thing myself. Who would you sell it to?
Why, anybody'd buy it.
There you are. Granny's me and you agrees on everything. Anybody'll buy it. I said the same thing to myself this morning. You don't happen to know anybody that's looking for a good silver mine, a second-handed one, 14-karat sterling, do you?
No, I don't know of anybody offhand, Lum, but if it's any account at all, why, you ought to find somebody that'll buy it.
Well, now, right there's where I'm stumped. I've got everything all figured out but that. Who'll buy it?
Well, you just got to get out and find somebody that's in the mining business.
Well, I thought about that, but the trouble is, if they're already in the mining business, they wouldn't need no mine. They more than likely already have one.
Well, yes, but if there's any silver in that mine, why, you wouldn't have any trouble disposing of to some of those big operators out there.
Well, there's silver in it, all right. Didn't you see that big chunk of solid sterling silver that Squire Skimp brought back from out there?
Yes, I saw it, but I still don't know where he got it.
Why, he dug it right out of our mine. Dug it out himself.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, he admitted to it himself.
Of course, he might have gotten it out of some other mine.
Well, undoubtedly he knows which mine's ours. He wouldn't likely make a mistake and get down in the wrong mine.
No, if you've got silver in paying quantities out there, Lum, why, some of those big companies might be interested in operating a mine on a royalty basis.
Yeah, on what kind of a base was that?
A royalty basis. Well, they pay you so much royalty and all the silver they take from the mine. That'd be just as good as selling it.
It would, huh?
Why, sure. That's the way why you'll be operating on their capital.
Sure. Well, I believe you're on the right track there now, Dick. What did you call that word again, what you said they'd give us for the mine?
Oh, royalty.
Yeah, that's the word, royalty. Aye, Granny's, it's a deal. I'm a good mind to do that.
Of course, those big companies would want to make some geological tests before they put any money in it.
Why, sure. Make what kind of test was them, Dick?
A geological test. Make an analysis of the quality of the ore and find out how big the vein is.
Yeah, I had in mind to do the same thing myself, I think. Royalty. Judge.
What's that, Lum?
Nothing. I was just studying some stuff over my head here. Yes, sir, I believe that was a good idea I had on this royalty-based business. Good minds to let them have it.
Well, the thing for you to do, then, is to get in touch with some of those big mining companies and see if they're interested.
And the trouble is, I don't know the name of no other silver mine except this one of ours. Wouldn't do no good to write myself a letter. I'm a good mind to put an advertisement in.
Wait a minute, I believe it. Yeah, there's your rolling grocery store pulling up out there in front, Lum.
Yeah, all through making the rounds, I reckon. Well, Granny, it'd take them long enough today, I'll say that. Abner and Grandpap have to sit and gossip at every house they stop at.
Yeah, I believe they enjoy that work.
They oughtn't to stop it right there in front of your store here, Dick. Ain't no way to do.
Oh, well, that's all right. They're all through for the day anyway, just so they don't block the road out there.
No, I see. They just let Abner and Grandpap out. Cedric must be driving it on over to put it up.
Well, come in, fellas, come in.
Yeah, how was business today?
Just on its holiday, Lum. We're out of so much stuff, missing lots of sales on account of it, too.
Well, you oughtn't to let the stock run down that way.
Well, you're the buyer. I've told you time and again what I always needing.
Yeah, I'll call up the wholesale house quick as I get time. Been so busy on this silver mining business, ain't had time to breathe, hardly. Is that the drinking water place sitting there on the counter, Richard?
Yeah, help yourself, Grandpap. Well, I'm going to have to go up here and sort the mail, fellas, and sawmill hands will be in here directly.
Yeah, go right ahead, Dick. Don't let us bother you. Just loafing. Well, Abner, I've figured out a way for us to make some money out of our silver mine.
Well, good.
I knowed if I kept turning it over and over in my head this way, I'd get an idea. I'm going to call a meeting of the stockholders for night and explain it all to them.
Did you hear that, Grandpap? Lum sat here and studied up an idea how he's going to make us all rich out of silver mine.
Good for you, Lum. Good for you. What you got in mind to do? Why, I'm going to get in touch with some of these other big mining companies, and instead of selling our mine to them, I'm going to make them give us a big royalty base for it.
Make them give us a what?
Royalty base. Of course, they got to make some geography tests to see how big their veins are first.
Well, I can't tell nothing from such talk as that, Lum.
Come over that again, Lum. Well, the whole thing boiled down is that they've got to make analyses of the qualities of the ores and stuff like that before they'll let us operate on their capital.
Huh?
And if they silver there in paying qualities, why, we can find out then how many of them royalty bases they'll give us. And I still can't understand what you're talking about, Lum.
Me neither.
Yeah, that's the trouble trying to explain things to such fellers as you. Have to put everything in such little bitty words. Me and Dick can sit up and talk by the hour using them big words and know what one another means nearly every time.
Well, now, if you're going to explain it to the stockholders, you better get it down in some words they'll understand, or they'll be against it. I'll tell you that right now. I wouldn't vote for it.
Yeah, I expect I better make an announcement over the party line about the meeting before I forget it. Dick, do you mind if I use your telephone a minute?
No, go right ahead, Lum.
I'll give the fire alarm ring. That always gets everybody to the phone.
Royalty base. Now, what does he want with one of them?
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm again it.
More than likely old second-handed one, or they wouldn't want to swap it off in the first place. Operating on their capital. Who does he think he is, Doc Miller?
Be quiet. Howdy, everybody. There ain't no fire. I just want to make an announcement. This is Lum Edwards, President and General Manager of the Great Western Sterling Silver Company. I just want to announce that there'll be an importance meeting of the stockholders at my place tonight. Be sure and be there. It's important. Huh? Well, I'll explain it when you get over to the meeting tonight. All right, goodbye.
Wait a minute, Grandpap. We can't go to no meeting tonight. Don't you know, Goldie Ratcliffe asked us over to her house to the pie supper tonight.
Yeah, that's right. I'd forgot about it.
Why, sure.
Well, you can just call the pie supper off. This meeting's important. That's the reason you fellas don't ever get to be presidents and general managers of things. Always letting pleasure interfere with his business.
Oh, come in, Cedric.
A man worthwhile is a man that can smile. All work and no play makes Jack a man that's got to put business ahead of everything else to make a success of himself today.
Mr. Lum, excuse me for butting in, but Miss Evelina told me to tell you something.
Miss Evelina Shoes?
I forgot to tell you, Lum. Evelina's back. You know, school starts Monday, and she just a while ago got in.
Well, I do know. I never even knowed she was in town.
No?
She said for me to tell you that you and her was invited to the pie supper over at Goldie Ratcliffe's tonight.
Hi, Granny, wait a minute. Let me get to that telephone.
Oh, I was just excited to pieces. Can't wait to talk to her.
Too bad he's got to go to that meeting tonight.
Yeah, I reckon, Grandpap, me and you ought to go, too. Like he says, business ought to come first.
Howdy, everybody. This is Lum Edwards, President, and all of them other things of the silver mine. I just want to announce that the stockholders' meeting for tonight is called off on account of the pie supper over at Goldie Ratcliffe's tonight. We'll put the meeting off till tomorrow night, so everybody...
And tomorrow night's meeting will probably be held sometime next week with Evelina Schultz in town. Down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Well, school days are here again. Long, hungry days for the youngsters with no running in and out of doors for something to eat all day long. It's very important now that you give them something nourishing and sustaining in the morning before you pack them off to school. Horlicks, for instance. Youngsters like to drink Horlicks, and it's a fine, nourishing food drink for them. They can't help but benefit from the vitamins, the bodybuilding elements that every glass of Horlicks contains. They need its nourishment and fine sustaining powers. That's why I suggest you always keep a package handy in the pantry. Give it to them for lunch, too, and last thing at night. You can get it in a choice of flavors, either natural or chocolate. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Since Evelina Schultz, the school mom, returned to Pine Ridge to resume her teaching duties, the stockholders of the Great Western Sterling Silver Company are complaining that Lum is neglecting his duties as president and general manager of the mine to carry on his courtship. As we look in on our friends today, Lum and Abner have been out with their rolling grocery store all morning, and we find Grandpappy Spears down at Dick Huddleston's store expressing his views of the silver mine. Listen.
Well, I wouldn't blame Lum too much, Grandpa. He figured it was a good investment, or he wouldn't have sold it to you, naturally.
And I bought it on his recommendation, though. Figured he knowed what he was talking about.
Well, Lum was just selling the stock for Squire Skimp. He didn't get anything out of it except a little commission. And I think he turned around and invested his commission back in the company, bought stock with him.
Yeah, Lum was president of the company, though. He's responsible for the whole business.
Why, yes, but Squire just made him president so that all the people here in town would have more confidence in the silver mine. Squire was smart enough to know that they wouldn't trust him to buy anything.
That's what I say. Folks around here invested in it on account of Lum being president, and now it's up to him to see if they get their money back.
Well, Lum's trying his best, Grandpa.
Trying nothing. Evelina Schultz is back in town. That's all he did since he come back. Just chase over at Sister Simpson's to see her.
Well, he's trying his best to sell it, though. It's a pretty hard job to just go out and find a buyer for a silver mine right off.
And you ought to go out there in Arizona where it's at. If there's any silver in there, why, start digging it out and dividing it amongst the stockholders.
Well, that's the trouble. Squire took all the money they got from the sale of stock and skipped out with it, and now there's nothing left for Lum to operate on.
Yeah, I don't believe Squire figured that mine was any count to start with.
Why, no, of course he didn't. I tried to tell you fellows that when you were putting every nickel you could scrape together into it, and you wouldn't listen to me.
Yeah, it sounded awful good, though, the way they told it.
Yeah, it sounded good.
Yeah, I thought I'd be so rich by this time I'd never have to do another day's work as long as I live.
Well, just remember this, Grandpa. Any time anybody tries to sell you anything that sounds that good, there must be something wrong with it, or they'd sure keep it for themselves.
Yeah, it does look that way, don't it?
I'd just love to know how much money is spent that way every year. People investing their savings in some get-rich-quick scheme, trying to get something without working for it. And the sad part about it is that invariably it's someone that can least afford to do it.
Yeah, there was a time in my life when it hurt me any worse to lose $100 than it does right now. Taxes is due, long ways past due for that goes. Winter coming on. I just don't see how we're going to make it.
Yeah, it's a shame. But it may be that Lum can work the thing out some way to get your money back, if you'll just give him enough time. I know that he wants to do the right thing about it.
Oh, yeah, I know Lum means well.
Well, I feel awful sorry for him, Grandpa. Squire Skimp cleaned up about $3,000 and left Lum holding a sack. He's got all the responsibilities of it, and Squire got all the money. Of course, he did give Lum what stock there was left.
Yeah, he done that. See, Lum's got 57% of the stock now, counting what Squire gave him. Controlling interest.
Yeah, but he had to give Squire a written agreement assuming all the responsibilities of the company. Squire's entirely out of it now.
Yeah. Lum could just sell it and get a part of our money back. It wouldn't be so bad.
No.
Reckon what that feller that was in here a while ago was wanting with him.
Well, I don't know. He just asked who the manager of the Great Western Sterling Silver Mining Company was, and I told him it was Lum.
Yeah, I hope he's wanting to buy the mine.
Oh, yeah. Well, he went over to Lum's house to see him.
And Lum ain't home.
He isn't?
No, I seen him and Abner over at Caleb Wheathunt's blacksmith shop when I come by a while ago. Still working on that trailer for Lum's office.
Haven't they got that thing ready yet?
No, and that's the foolishest idea I ever heard of, hooking that trailer on behind that rolling grocery store. That thing's big enough now without hooking nothing else on it.
Yeah. Well, Lum said he's going to use that for an office, for the silver mine.
Yeah, I know. That's the reason they let me go, too. He figures having the office right along with him that way, why, he can look after the silver mining business and work in the store both. He's aiming on just sitting back there in the office till Abner gets so busy he can't take care of the customers, and then he'll just go up there in the store for a while.
Well, more likely Abner won't like that very well. Wait a minute. Yeah, yonder they come now.
Yeah, them two always tickles me. Never walk along together. Lum's always about 10 foot in the lead, and Abner trailing along behind.
Yeah, they make a great pair.
Lum takes such long steps, Abner might not have to dog trot to keep up with him.
Well, come in, Lum, come in.
Gentlemen.
Fella in here looking for you a while ago, Lum.
Looking for me? Who was it?
Well, he didn't say. He's just looking for the manager of the silver mining company.
Well,
Howdy, man. Howdy, Abner.
How you, Abner?
Why, right tolerably, I reckon.
the feller never said what he's wanting, did he?
No, I told him where you lived, and I guess he went over there.
I told Richard here, Lum. I told him I hope it's somebody wanting to buy the mine off of you.
Aye, Grannies, that's about what it is, too. Somebody wanting to buy the mine. What sort of looking feller was he, Dick? Did he look like a millionaire?
Well, I don't know about that, Lum. He was a very nice-looking fellow, well-dressed and all.
Well, he'll never find nobody no easier to deal with, I'll tell him that.
You'll tell it to him, will you?
Oh, you bet your life he better not make me over on it. He's done cooked up right now. I'm carrying my stock certificates right around with me here, just hoping somebody will make me offer on it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, if he makes you any kind of offer at all on that mine, Lum, just take him right up on it. I want to get my money out of it.
Well, of course, I want a horse swap with him a little bit. Don't want to just take him up on the first offer he makes.
Why, no, of course not. He's come here to buy it, why, he'll do better than his first offer on it. Everybody always does. He ain't going to offer his high price the first time.
Why, of course not.
Well, I don't know that he's even interested in buying it, Lum. He just asked where the manager was.
Yeah.
And I hope that's what he's wanting from and eating my money out of it bad. Well, everybody needs it, Grandpap. You ain't the only one. I need my money out of it, too.
No, if you fellas will just be patient, I'm doing everything I can to expose of it. I wrote an advertisement this morning and mailed it into the newspaper there at the county seat of putting it up for sale. Paid for it out of my own pocket, too.
Well, that's too bad. Well, I don't like to complain none, Lum, but this looks to me like you've had time aplenty to do something with it if you aim to. What about all them promises you made whenever you sold me that stock? How rich I was going to get and all that.
Well, I thought you would, too, Grandpap. I was just telling everybody what Squire told me to tell them.
Well, it's up to you to get our money back first. We're holding you responsible. Well, now, Grandpap, he told you he's doing all he could. Don't pay no attention to him, Lum. He's just mad because we don't need him on the store no more and had to let him go. That's all it's all. Ain't no such a thing. Yeah, too. I ain't done it, Abner Peabody. You just keep your mouth out of it. I know what's the matter with you. Just mad and trying to take it out on Lum. If you want to know it, my taxes is way past due. I got a hearing from the collector this morning saying my place was on the delinquent list and going to be sold for taxes if I don't do something about it. I've just got to raise the money. That's all there are to it.
Well, if there's any way to do it, Granddad, I'll sure get you the money for you. You know that. I'd feel awful bad if you was to lose your place just on account of me selling you that stock.
I know you would, Lum. I know you would. I ain't trying to work no hardships on you.
Here comes that fellow back there now.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, that's him.
Well, I seen him go by the blacksmith shop a while ago and wondered who he was. Must have been heading for my place then.
Yeah, more likely was.
Lum, don't try to ask too much for it and scare him out of buying it. Now, Grandpap, let's me and you just stay out of this now and let Lum handle it the way he wants to.
Yeah.
Well, come right in, sir. I'm sorry I called you that walk for nothing. Here's the man you want to see right here.
Yes, sir. I'm president and general manager of the silver company. Edwards is my name, Lum Edwards.
How do you do, Mr. Edwards? Donahue is my name.
I'm proud to make your acquaintance, sir. Sit down. Abner, get up and let Mr. Donahue have that box.
Oh, yeah, sure. Here, sit down, sir.
I went over to your house, but evidently there was no one home.
No, I live there by myself, and whenever I ain't there, well, there ain't nobody there.
Yes, why, Mr. Edwards, I understand that you're selling stock in a silver mine located in Arizona.
Well, we have been, yeah.
Yeah.
We ain't been selling none here late to speak of. See, you might not everybody in town's already bought some of it.
Yes, I understood that you sold quite a bit around here.
Oh, my. Couldn't hardly get the stock printed fast enough there for a while.
No.
It's a good invest, all right. Special if it works out like we think it will, or like we hope it will.
Yes, well, I wanted to get all the particulars.
I reckon you just want to buy the whole shebang, though, huh?
No, I don't know that I want to buy any of it. I just wanted to hear all about it.
Oh, yeah, well, tell you all about it, anything you want to know.
Well, I'd just like to know a little about the company, Mr. Edwards, the value of the stock.
Well, it's out there in Arizona, and according to them that saw it, it's 14 karat sterling silver that's in it. And there's worth plenty of it in there. Just go in there and take great chunks out of it with your bare hands.
Yeah, Squire Skimp, he brought a whole big chunk back with him. I seen it myself. Said it was solid silver.
Abner, I'll talk to Mr. Donahue here.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I'd love mighty well to have you in the company with us if you could see your way clear to buy some stocks. To just buy a few shares, it ought to be enough to make you rich.
What are the shares worth, Mr. Edwards?
Well, right now I could run sort of an extra special on them, sort of a Monday special, you know. We've been getting $50 a share for it, but just to be right honest with you, we've got one stockholder in the company that's needing his money back of it mighty bad right now to pay his taxes with, keep from losing his place. So today I'd offer you 3 shares of stock for the same price we've been getting for $100 cash, so I can let him have his money back.
3 shares for $100, huh?
Yes, sir, and I give you my word that's the first time that price has ever been cut 1 nickel. It's a bargain, it's that.
All right, Mr. Edwards. We can just make out 3 shares in my name. I'll take it.
Well, good for you. Hey, Granny's grandpap, there's your tax money for you right there. I know that.
That takes care of Grandpap's taxes all right. But who is this Mr. Donahue? Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Have you ever had this experience? You walk into a store and you say to the clerk, "A package of Horlicks, please." "All right," says the clerk, "but why Horlicks? Try our brand. It's much cheaper and every bit as good. Save your money." Well, that sounds like a good idea at the time. So what do? You buy the imitation. And pretty soon you'll find out it wasn't such a bargain after all. It has a peculiar flavor, not much quality, and does not give the results you expect from malted milk. So next time you insist on Horlicks, and you get it. So be prepared. If the clerk says, "Try our brand," have your answer ready. Say, "I want Horlicks, and I want what I asked for. Horlicks, the original malted milk." You know, for flavor, quality, and results, Horlicks has no equal anywhere. And now let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Well, yesterday, some new interest was created in the Great Western Sterling Silver Mining Company, of which Lum is president and general manager, when a stranger arrived in Pine Ridge and purchased 3 shares of stock in the mine. The stockholders now believe that the stranger, Mr. Donahue, must have some inside information about the mine, and as a result, they're all feeling much better about their investment. As we look in on our friends today, we find Abner over at the Cuddleston store discussing the matter. Listen.
Yeah, I feel a heap better about the mine now since that feller Donahue's bought some stock in it. Tell by looking at him, he's a pretty smart feller.
Yeah, I can't understand that. A man like that come all the way out here to buy $100 worth of stock.
Why, it must look like a pretty good proposition to him, or he wouldn't have did it.
Yeah, but he didn't ask Lum a thing about the mine till after he'd already bought the stock.
No. I reckon old Lum just had it sold to him before he knowed it. That Lum is an awful good seller.
Well, he didn't have to tell that fellow to Abner. He acted like he'd already buy it when he got here.
Yeah, he did. Just reached down in his pocket and peeled off $100 there. Did you see that roll of bills he was packing on him?
No, I didn't notice it.
Big enough to choke a cow. I bet he's got more money than he knows what to do with.
I wanted to see Lum and find out where the fellow's from.
Well, I don't think he ever said, but I just got a notion that he's from somewhere out there in Arizona. More likely he saw the mine and knows it's just chock full of silver. That's the reason he wanted to get some stock in it.
Well, it seems to me, though, if he figured the mine was that good, why, he'd want to invest more than just $100 in it. He said he had a big roll of money.
Yeah, that's right, ain't it? Well, maybe he figured that $100 worth will make him as much as he wants. See, Lum give him 3 shares for $100.
Yeah, I know he did. But I believe he'd have paid the regular price, $50 a share for it, Lum just asked him.
Well, you know, Lum was just anxious to make a sale so he could get that $100 to pay Grandpappy Spears back what he'd invested in the company.
Yeah, that's pretty nice, old Lum, too. Grandpapa sure needed it.
Yeah, yonder comes Lum up right there in front now.
Yeah.
Look there. He's got on his Sunday suit. He's been wearing it every day, ever since Evelina come back.
Hey, him and Evelina's got up quite a case, haven't they?
Oh, I never seen nothing like it. Had Cedric drive a store 3 times by the schoolhouse yesterday and blow the horn so as he could wave to her.
Well, howdy, Lum. Come on back.
Gentlemen.
My George, you're going dressed up here lately, aren't you, Lum?
Yeah, I reckon I am a little bit. Considering my position, the old president and all the big mining companies, got to go dressed up.
You're sure that Evelina coming back to town hasn't got anything to do with it?
Nah, I knowed you'd say something like it. Swan, did you're the terrible-handed Joshua feller.
No, that's all right, Lum. I don't blame you one bit. Evelina's a mighty fine girl.
Yeah. She sure is.
Oh, yeah.
Sure go. Fine a little woman as ever drawed breath, I know. She's a jewel. A jewel. She's went into the county seat with some of the scholars today to help them buy their books. See, school don't open official till tomorrow.
Yeah, Pearl come home yesterday with a long list of books that she's got to buy. Doggett he'd bankrupt the government trying to keep a youngin' in school these days and time.
Well, the more books they got, the more the teacher can learn them, I figure.
Yeah, these youngins ought to appreciate what their folks are doing for them. They're making lots of sacrifices to send them to school.
Yeah, that's sort of along the lines I'm making my talk on tomorrow, too.
What talk?
Why, Evelina wanted me to make the scholars a little speech in the morning at the school opening exercises, so I told her I'd do it.
That's right. I'm supposed to be down there in the morning, too.
Yeah, all the school board's supposed to be there. And mamas and papas of the scholars, too, of course.
Well, I'd love to go, but I'll be dad blamed if I want to go down there and sit through that speech of yours again, Lum. You give it for the last 10 years.
Well, this is a brand new one, though. Just a while ago wrote it. It's sort of a lesson to the scholars, what I'm talking about.
Here.
I've got it here in my pocket.
What's it about, Lum?
Oh, I don't know. Nothing in particular. Covers might not everything, you might say. It's sort of on the order of that, and I give it commencement exercises at the end of school last spring.
Well, sir, now, there's something that I never could understand. Having a commencement exercises at the end of school. Looks to me like you just got it right square backward.
Well, let's hear your speech, Lum. I might not get over there in the morning.
Well, I ain't learned it by heart yet. I'll have to sort of read it all.
Oh, my goodness, sir. Is that all speech there that you got, Lum, that stack of paper?
Well, these is my notes.
For land.
Different subjects I aim to talk on.
Well, if them's just your notes, why, you'll be talking there all day if somebody don't stop you.
Yeah, it does look like you got quite a lot there, Lum.
Yeah, well, ideas just kept coming to me, and I just kept setting them down. First thing you know, I read up a whole tablet full of them.
Want to be sure and tell them all you could that one time, huh?
Sure, you know, I don't get to talk to them very often.
No, but when you do, you make up for lost time, I'll say that, Lum. I dog as you can stand and talk longer than every one man I ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah, it never dashes me none to get up in front of no kind of gathering and do out loud talking. Some fellas get up there and sort of catch their breath like a young Indian swimming out of season. Never bothers me none.
No, I'll say it don't. Might bother the audience out there, but it never bother you.
Well, go ahead, read it, Lum.
Well, starts out here, Good morning, scholars and friends. The harpstrings of memory strike a tender chord as I come back again to the little schoolhouse I love so well, and in which is the scholars whom I love so
It's
well.
the same old speech. You can't fool me, Lum. I've heard you give it 100 times.
Well, it's sort of like it in spots, starting out here.
Well, let him go ahead and read it, Abner.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see where we go. As I stand up here on this platform this morning and look out over your bright and shiny faces...
This is afternoon, Lum.
This speech is going to be given in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
As I stand up here on this platform this morning and look out over your bright and shiny faces, it brings back fond memories when I was a scholar in dear old Cloverleaf School District number 186.
You ain't fooling me one bit. I've heard all that before, too.
Times has changed since I was a little barefooted boy sitting out there amongst you, studying my lessons and trying to improve myself. I never dreamt that someday I'd be standing up here on this platform before you as president of the school board to welcome you to this opening day of school. It just goes to show...
It's a small world after all.
Now, how did you know that come in there?
Well, I've heard it enough. I ought to know.
Go ahead, Lum. You're doing fine.
Hey, you can stop anywhere there and I'll finish it for you.
As you go out into life to grasp the skirts of happy chance...
May your stream of life unruffled run and the lotus bloom without a thorn.
I thought I'd get you there. I've changed that part of it.
Oh.
Think you're smart. Listen to this. As you go out into life to grasp the skirts of happy chance, just recollect that old Eddard saying that honesty is the best policy.
Well, I'll be dead blamed. There's going to be a lot of them just think you forgot your speech right along in there where you changed it, Lum.
Listen to this. Who was the father of our country? Who was it that went and told his father when he cut down the cherry tree and admitted to it?
George Washington.
Abner, will you please hash up till I get done?
Well, that's who it was, wasn't it?
Yes, of course it was.
You ought to give me a head mark on that.
I'm going to give you a head mark here indirectly. This stick of wood laying there on the floor. Now, just hash up.
Go ahead.
Let's see here. Yeah, always be like him, little George Washington. Always be honest and upright in your dealings.
Yeah.
So that when that one great score comes to mark again your name, he writes not whether you won or lost, but how you played the game. I'm proud to say that I owe my success to always being honest and upright with my fellow man.
Well, now, you changed that up some right in through there. Took some out and put some in, sort of like a woman making over old dress.
I tell you, my young friends, it's a sight of comfort when a man gets up to my age and can turn and look back down the highway of life with its many twists and turns of temptations and tribulations, to know in his own heart that he has wronged not any man. Little do you realize it now, but here in this little schoolhouse you're preparing yourself by building characters that will be strong enough to go out into this world of ours and withstand the many pitfalls of life.
Oh, man.
But remember that old Eddard saying, he who steals my pocketbook steals nothing, but he who steals my good name steals the most precious of all my possessions. And now, before I close...
There comes your friend Donahue up out there.
Huh?
Donahue.
Oh, yeah.
I bet he's coming back to buy some more stock.
That's about what he wants.
Yeah.
I thought yesterday he appeared to be awfully interested, even after he bought them 3 shares from me. Asked me all sorts of questions about the company.
Well, sell him mine if he'll buy it.
Come in, sir. Yeah, how do you do, sir?
Hello there.
Come right in, Mr. Donahue. Glad to see you.
Yeah, here, take my chair, Mr. Donahue.
Yeah.
Oh, no, thank you. I want to see Mr. Edwards privately.
Well, these fellas here is both my friends, Mr. Donahue. Anything you've got to say, it's all right in front of them.
Well, I'm afraid I have some bad news for you, Mr. Edwards.
Bad news?
I've stayed over an extra day in hopes that I would find that I was wrong about it, but, I'm with the Department of Justice, sent here to investigate the sale of stock in the Great Western Silver Company. I regret that I'm forced to place you under arrest for violation of the Blue Sky Laws, the sale of fraudulent stock.
Lum delivers that address on the subject of honesty and its virtues. It'll have to be through the bars of the Pine Ridge Jail. This is Carlton Bricker, speaking for Lum and Abner and Horlick, who now bid you all goodbye until tomorrow at the same time.